Okay, exercise 1.7, circle tangency. I'll be going fairly quickly because it's a fairly long sheet. The important thing to remember about this particular one is that it's all done with the compass. Okay, and parallel lines, that's the most important thing to think about on this one. So we're going to do arcs and circles that are tangent to lines and other circles. Okay, a tangent means that if we have a circle or any kind of curved surface, a tangent is a line that will touch it at only one point. It won't cross in through the middle, it'll only touch it just at one point at the edge of that curve or arc or circle or round line. Okay, so to begin, we're going to draw a circle of 40 diameter, that is the diameter symbol, tangent to the two lines given. Now, compasses always only ever work in radius, which is, this is a diameter all the way across through the centre. So here you can see there's a diameter 30, diameter 40. The radius is always half of that. So from the centre point to the edge, any edge of this circle would be a radius, okay, which is what our compass needs. Okay, so draw a circle of diameter 40 tangent to the two lines given. So we've got two lines. We need a circle in here somewhere that's going to touch it at one point, touch it at one point. Essentially, we need to find the centre of this circle. Okay, so we need to know where the centre of this circle radius 20 is going to go. So it's going to be 20 away from this line, and it would be 20 away from this line. The easiest way, there's a number of ways to find the centre point. The easiest way I find is by setting my compass to the radius 20, putting it at one end of the line, marking out a small arc, putting it at the other end of the line, marking out a small arc. Now, those two lines together, I can go to the edge of those arcs where I draw a line that is tangent to both of them, and it should be 20 away and parallel to this line. Okay, so again, this one, same kind of thing, very small arc. Hopefully you can see that. I've made it super light because I like construction lines, super light. Okay, now this one again is going to be touching it at the top of those two arcs. So I found a line up here and a line across here that intersects at that point. My compass is already set to 20. This is the one I'm going to firm in because it wants a circle. That is my end result. Okay, so if I've measured and marked it out accurately, it should touch on that point and it should touch down here. Okay, so the next one is a little bit different. It's an acute angle. And if you were trying to, use some other method before, it might fall down for you at this, on this particular one. So using the same method as before, I'm going to do a small arc here at one end of that line, small arc at the other end of the line. The radius is the same, so I didn't have to change the distance my compass is already set to. So moving all the other tools aside, I'm going to place a line that touches those two arcs. There's a little arc there, a little arc there. Now I need a line that touches the top of those arcs and it will be parallel to that angle there. Now the same thing for this one. I'm going to use the compass again, put it at one end of the line. It's good to get as far apart as possible to improve the accuracy. Okay, and at the other end. Okay, so we've done two arcs at either end of the line. It's going to cross over. Just touching the top of those arcs, we can see where that will cross over. So there's your centre point right there. Keeping the compass at that 20 radius, we place it on the centre point. This is our final circle. So we're going to make that a little firmer. Okay, so there's our circle that is tangent to these two lines given. So we found the centre point. It was 20 away from this line and it was 20 away from this line. Now for this one, we're going to do something similar. We've got a straight line, but then we've got this circle. So draw an arc of R20, which is the same as these. These were just saying, giving it as a diameter instead of a radius. Draw an arc of R20 tangent to the line and the circle given. So it has to touch it just on, now this is an arc, so we're not going to draw a full circle, we're just going to draw an arc. We need a centre point somewhere out here that's going to be 20 away from this line and 20 away from this rounded edge. Okay, so it's a bit different. Alright, so this one, again, we can keep our compass at the same distance, so already set at 20, do an arc one end, an arc the other. Now we can't do that, we'd have to go around and we'd essentially, if we did that around here, we'd end up doing a lot of little lines around the edge which we'd all have to join up, which would be quite painful. So what we do instead is we just add that 20 to this center, from this center point. So we've got a circle of diameter 30, so if we come 15 out, but then it's going to be another 20 from this edge. So we add 20 to this radius 15. So we're looking at 35. So if we set our compass to 35, we will get a concentric circle that is 20 from that center point. So making sure you set it very accurately. So I'm going to set it on the same center point, and here we go. We're going to do that one there. I haven't joined these two arcs up here, so to find where it crosses over there. So that point, okay, came across here. It's 20 away from this line. I'll just draw it in full so you can see it, see what's going on in case you're not listening to the audio. Okay, let's see, so that's parallel, it's 20 away from that line. This curved arc is also 20 away from this edge because we added the radius to get that center point that was 20 away from that edge. So we've got a concentric circle going on there. So we set this back to 20. Now we go for time. Okay, set this back to 20. There we go. Now that is our new center point. Now we're going to just do an arc that touches those points. So it's going to touch those two lines. It's going to touch this line and it's going to touch this circle. So here we've got a arc that touches a line and a circle. Now here we're going to actually create an arc that touches two circles, but just at a tangent. So it's just going to touch it once, touch it once. Okay, so it would be a circle out here. So this says draw an arc of R25 below and tangent to the two circles given. So we need a distance, a center point out here somewhere that's 25 out from each of these edges. So we need to add an extra 25 to each of these to find out where out here that 25 crosses over. So we'll set it back to 25 and we can do our arc. So here we've got a diameter, so we've got 20 plus the 25, so that gives us 45 from that point. So set it to 45 for this one. Always using the wheel to adjust our compass. Okay, set that as our center point. Drawing a light arc down below. Okay, now we need to find something that's 20 out from this edge as well. So we add the 25 to this edge, so we're coming out 15 plus another 25, so 30, 40. 15 plus 25, then 40. So again, we set our compass to 40, so I pull it back in, making sure it hits it as accurately as possible, making sure your compass is always sharp. As soon as it starts getting blunt, you'll find your accuracy is compromised. Okay, so that's 25 out from that edge and it's 25 out from that edge. So we can set our compass now back to 25 and draw our arc. So that's now our center point. We can draw an arc, radius 25. There we go. Next one, arc of R60 above and tangent to the two circles given. So above, up here somewhere. R60, it's going to be a fairly big circle, but we're just going to do the part that touches these two at a tangent. Our center point's going to be out here somewhere. So we need to add 60 onto these center points to find out where our center point is out here for the arc that's R60. So we're going to add 20 plus 60, so it's 80. So set that to, it's going to be quite big, this one, for that circle on the left. Okay, so 80, just double check. Yep, nice. Okay, that's our center point. Now it's going to be up here in this drawing somewhere. I'm going to draw it fairly light, you can probably just see it. Now this one we're going to add 60 onto the 15 here. Okay, so we've got a radius 15 and we need to add that 60 on again to find out where the center point is. That's 60 away from this edge, so 60 out. So 15 plus the 60 will get that center point 60 away from that curved edge. Okay, so 60 plus 15, 75. So I'll set this to 75. So it's already 80, so it's not too much of an adjustment, thankfully. Okay, so that's our center point, and we look at where that crosses over there, which is up in that drawing. Okay, now we need to set it back to 60 to draw this arc, because that line and that line is 60 away from each of those curves. So again, we'll come back in here, set it back to 60. There it is. That's now our center point. I'm going to draw an arc. Touches those two circles at a tangent. Okay, so that's that one done. Last one, we have draw an arc of R15 below, so it's going to be a little radius, and tangent to the two circles given. Draw an arc of R50 above, so a bit flatter and bigger, above to the two circles given, tangent to the two circles. So first we'll do the one below and then we'll do the one above. So R15, we have to add 15 to these radiuses. So we've got 20 plus 15, so that's 35. So set it to 35. There's our center point. Draw an arc. This is 15 plus 15, so we're looking at 30. Set it there. Cross over. Okay, so there's our center point. It's going to be 15 out from there, so that's about centimetre and a half from those two edges. That's our new center point. We have to set it back to 15 because that's what it says our arc needs to be. Okay, basing our measurements on that. So there's our center point. Okay, and there's your arc below. Okay, next one is the R50 above and tangent to the two circles given. So we're going to go 50 plus 20 for this one, 70. So set our compass to 70, so fairly big. Again, using the wheel to make those adjustments. Okay, so it's going to go up onto the other drawing. Do it very light. You can probably barely see that. I don't like to draw over the other things. So this one's R50 above, so R50 again, so we have to add 50 to 15, so 65. So I'll come back into 65. The second one. There's the center point. Look at where it crosses over right there. Now that's our center point for the arc of R50, so we need to set it back to 50. Don't make the mistake of leaving it the same size. So 50, that's our center point where those two crossed over, and draw an arc, touches those circles at a tangent. So there we are, finished. Exercise 1.7, circle tangency. Good job.